Hello and welcome to the Social Recruiting Show. I'm Katrina Collier. I speak, train and write about the use of social media for recruitment. And of course, I'm joined by my fabulous co-host, Audra Knight, who is a recruitment marketing genius, employer branding nerd, and whatever else she feels like being. Bass player. And today she's going to introduce our guest. Hey, Audra.
Hello. So today we have Lamont Price. He is a colleague of mine, and I was very, very excited when I found out he was a Facebook marketing expert, really. And he has a whole amazing history. I was talking to him all about it. So Lamont, welcome. And if you could just give us a little background into the stuff you've done with the marketing, and then we'll jump into how we can use it for recruitment.
Sure. So I'll tell you a little bit how I got into Facebook. Facebook marketing started how I got into really the whole PPC marketing started about 10 years ago. And my brother-in-law and I, we were really looking for a way to generate leads for real estate. We were doing a lot of real estate investing at that time. And we were paying a lot of money for these leads. I mean, it was just very expensive. So I wanted to find someone that really knew how to generate leads and could do pay-per-click, because you have 1,000 people out there talking about, hey, you can generate leads and this and this and that. And so using my sourcing skills, I found someone who really, really knew how to generate leads. And he was doing like $1 million or $2 million a year. And I found him locally. We had some lunch, and he said, yeah, pay me a lot of money and I'll show you how to do it. And I did it. So that's how I got into the whole pay-per-click side of it. Some years later, I was very apprehensive about Facebook. I was an older guy. I'm saying, I'm not going to get on this Facebook thing. And I stepped away from it. I went on.
Older guy. Yeah.
I did the same thing with Instagram and Snapchat. But I decided to jump into it. And once I found out how powerful the ad platform was as compared to some of the other platforms like your Google and Bing ad platforms, it's just absolutely amazing. And we'll talk about that a little bit later on. So that's how I got into the whole marketing side of Facebook. Really taking.
So have you recruited beforehand, or?
Oh yeah, I've been recruiting for almost 19 years now. So I'm kind of a hybrid. Yeah, I'm a little bit of a hybrid between a marketer and pay-per-click marketer and a recruiter, which has helped out tremendously.
Mm-hmm. No doubt.
I mean, in a way, I think recruiters need to be marketers now anyway, and that's half the problem is getting them to understand that.
Yeah. I'd say that all the time. I know a lot of people will say recruiters aren't marketers, but yeah, it's once I learned about marketing, as far from a digital marketing perspective, a pay-per-click copywriting, I feel that it was in probably one of the best skills I could ever learn. So
I think sometimes if you de-buzzword it. So I will often say to recruiters, just look like someone worth talking to.
Yeah.
Audra heard when I spoke, and Matt, and there's actually several people on this call have heard me say that 100 times. But I sometimes think there's almost a bit of resistance.
Yeah.
It's like the anti-HR movement. If you're a recruiter, and even in-house don't want to necessarily be in HR, and it's, recruitment is marketing.
And then there's
Jim's right. But at the same time, I think there's a lot of recruiters that don't want to hear that word.
Yeah. I was like that. I think earlier in my career, I'm not sure. Maybe it was just influenced by the industry. But as I got more into marketing, I was really sad, because I wish I would have learned marketing first before actually jumping into recruiting, because I learned so much more as a marketer, as a recruiter from the marketing side. And I really, I say now that recruiting is a subset of marketing. I know some might disagree, but I'm a very, very, very adamant about that now.
I like that.
I got one like.
Yeah, I won't be giving you a like on that. That's a curious way of looking at it. But explain how you're thinking. Look at Audra, she's on. Explain that. But explain it.
She said.
I agree with Jackie Clayton. Hell no. I mean, I disagree, because I just think it's a separate thing. But what made you come in? Where's the thinking? Let's take it just from a very, very basic level. Let's just use. I'll take Facebook out for a second. I'll just use LinkedIn. Everyone uses LinkedIn.
When you send a message to someone on LinkedIn, how are you going to differentiate that message from the 10, 15 other messages that software engineer, that Hadoop developer, or whatever? So, for example, what I learned in copywriting, and I took a lot of copywriting classes. That's marketing. I had to learn how to copyright in order to craft that message, that irresistible email, that irresistible offer, to persuade that individual to even open, because I'm competing against every other company that's out there that's sending a message to that individual. So from that right there, that's the first part that I have to differentiate myself, which is differentiating. That's marketing. That's all about
branding.
Marketing.
And then your brand.
It's branding. You can go back to Jack Trout and Al Rees, who created the word positioning. From there, I want to separate myself as an individual recruiter. Okay. So I'll add a video. I'll put a video in an email to someone, and it'll send them to a cartoon video. I've already differentiated myself, my email. I've differentiated myself as a recruiter. Now, how do I differentiate the company? Well, I tell stories when I'm talking about the company that I'm trying to market. So right there, from every touch point, from the email to myself to the company, I'm differentiating every touch point. So I'm marketing to that individual.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I still just don't think it's a subset of marketing. I still think it's a different skill set.
Well, a lot of people seem to be separated, at least from HR.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
But, I mean, because HR is more the police, and that keeping the policies going and protecting people and all that kind of stuff. Engagement.
Yeah. I'm not into HR. I'm not into HR stuff. I just not my forte.
But I think when you're talking to recruiters and you're trying to sell what you're talking about, I think there would be resistance because of the wording. I completely hear what you're saying, but if you talk about getting people to reply by making it deeply personal, by making an effort, I think half of what you're talking about involves an effort, which a lot of recruiters don't want to do. They kind of get lazy because LinkedIn's made it so they can be lazy. Applicant tracking systems have made it so they can be lazy. They can just mass spam people. So you're making an effort.
Yeah.
You're just calling it marketing terms.
But he's also put some effort into his personal brand, which helps. So when they get a message from you, they check out your profile and go, well, this guy's legit or trusted.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in it for the long game. I'm not in it just for the short term. Yeah, you have to get hires. I understand that, but I've worked both sides. I've done affiliate marketing, direct sales. I've been doing recruiting for 19 years. It is a definite subset in what I do. It's a definite subset of marketing, because I'm always marketing. Whenever I'm talking, I'm marketing myself. I tell my kids.
The company.
So what Matt Durran's written down the side here. Oh, stop writing comments, people. I can't read. Especially shoulder sore. I can't read. Brain not working. So the concept of moving recruiting out of HR and into marketing or finance has been around for a while. Sure. Yes, employer branding, as he's written here, functions report into marketing now. That makes sense to me. I don't have a problem with that. But why can't recruitment be its own standalone function that reports into all of those aspects? Because it's such an important role. It's not really one of those. It's not finance. It's not HR. It's its own thing. I think it should report to the COO. Yeah. I don't know what ENTJ, that's one of those rubbish things. What's that, Jackie? Spell it out for me. Isn't that, I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, that basically what Jim's pipeline equals lead generation strategy, clever email marketing. Yeah, that's what I do. That's a big part of what I do. I didn't learn any of that from any recruiting courses or anything over the years, any books, none of that. I didn't learn any of that until I started learning digital marketing.
Yeah. Yep. Which has, again, not been around that long.
No.
Yeah. So I have a question. So why is Facebook better for like marketing campaigns for recruitment and jobs better than like Indeed or job boards? Is it just price or is it the targeting? What part do you like?
Well,
what people are using?
Yeah, so it now, one thing I want to clarify, because I've had the opportunity to look at all of those from a very high level, a lot of data. So Indeed, let's say some of the examples you gave in Indeed or LinkedIn, I would say that Facebook, it's different, and I'll go into how it's just different from those. Indeed does very well. I would say if anyone's has had experience in looking at the data that comes from Indeed, it does very well. But what Facebook does is Facebook allows you to really target from a psychographic perspective. And I'll try to clarify this a little bit better. On average, Facebook has about 1,500 data points per person. I was looking at my information. They have 790 data points on me. So, for example, if you wanted to target someone who has an affinity to Linux, who rides a Harley Davidson, and who lives in a particular city, drives a particular car, you can get that level of targeting, and you can target your message. You can target your ad. You can target, and then from there, you can send them over to the landing page. So all that is coherent. You can't do that on any other platform right now. Facebook is still the greatest ad platform, better than Bing, better than Google. Snapchat is completely different, but Snapchat doesn't have those type of data points, even though it's Snapchat's it's a little bit different. So
the way I look at your question, Audra, is that's where active people are. So taking on top of what you're talking about, people are likely to see it. Not only can you make it hyper-personalized, but most people have been in there several times today. It's 1.65 billion users, 1.09 billion every single day. It's extraordinary figures compared to just 100 million who check into LinkedIn once a month. And it's people using that are what recruiters, marketers, entrepreneurs, salespeople. I say this on every single blab, I'm sure. So that to me is one thing. And also, yes, I agree with Indeed, because the majority of times when an active job seeker goes to Google and searches, well, Indeed's at the top. But I think to get the people who, I do think we're all open to opportunities all the time, so I don't agree with the whole passive thing. But for those who haven't physically gone and typed into Google, they're going to see something on Facebook.
Jim has a good question about Facebook Live. I hadn't thought about using that at career fairs, and that's a great idea because that engagement is supposed to be huge. I got to work on that one up for us.
Yeah, I haven't used.
I know it's still freaking me out at the moment.
Yeah, it's freaking you out. I'm gonna check it out.
I think because the videos can be so long. One of the reasons I'm actually finally being drawn towards Snapchat is it makes you concentrate and get your message across really quickly. So I kind of like that.
That might be good for.
But I
was just thinking for Lamont, I should bring back B-sides and Black Cat and do some crazy videos.
There's so, like I said, there's so much you can do with Facebook. And from previously when I was working more on the recruitment marketing side, it's really amazing to see when you start looking at those the attribution of where your hires are actually coming from. So, for example, the what we call the Google's zero moment of truth. So most of the time when you're looking at where your hires are coming from, you're going to see, okay, the last click of where it came from might be, just say LinkedIn, but it really didn't start there. It started on Facebook. I was really amazed to see when we did actually start doing Facebook, when you're looking at that click attribution, the initial source, one of them, it was Facebook. And then, okay, the last click attribution was from some other website. So what I started to do was start to cut off those last click attributions and just actually started putting more money into the first.
Okay, what is the last click attribution for the
Sure. So
like me?
I'm sorry. So let me
less technology speak and more human beings speak.
I'll give you an example. So, for example, you whether you're posting a job or it's for something else, and let's say you're running the ad on Facebook. The person clicks the ad on Facebook. Well, because nowadays it can take a week or 10 different sites that person might go through before they actually come to your site to purchase a widget or to apply to that position, you're going to see the last source as Simply Hire. Seeing the last source in your applicant tracking system is Simply Hire, but that's not true. It's really, if you want to give credit, you have to start out with that initial source, started at Facebook or wherever that initial source is. So if you could see that buyer's journey as it continues down that pipeline, you would see, it started here at Facebook or it started somewhere else. So what I started to see was that the Facebook did very, very well with the on the awareness side. That first click was usually coming from Facebook when we started to run these ads. So it was really, really powerful. And like I said, but you have to have the tracking in place. If you don't have the correct tracking in order to see that, then you're just flushing money down the toilet.
I did a campaign for.
Can I go back to Facebook?
I was just going to say I did a campaign for Singapore, like sales jobs, and we were having ridiculous amounts of clicks. Do you guys hear a back? Can you hear me well? Yeah. Don't know why though.
It's a bit done. Can I just go back to Facebook Live for a second? Because there's some interesting stuff being said down the side. Besides, I wish I hadn't read Jackie Clayton's cockfighting comment about, that's awful. So one thing is we did try Facebook Live at Recruit DC and it failed dismally, which is a shame.
Oh.
So, so you can't hear me most of the time. So Matt will tell you about that anyway. I thought what Jim wrote is rather terrifying. What about setting up a silent Facebook Live in your office, like a webcam showing people at work, but no sound, so to protect privacy? So you forget the camera's on, you suddenly pick your nose, and the next second it's out for the world. I think
unless you have a really cool company that's really fun, but most of it would just be really boring, I would think. But maybe at like Zappos.
I don't know. Jackie's written the wireless failed, not Facebook Live. I don't know. No, I think Facebook Live failed. It was just not recording the sound. I don't know. Matt could say. Anyway, sorry, it was digressing back to that. We were talking pay-per-click, and I went off on topic.
That's funny.
So I mean, the thing I get. So obviously, I teach people how to actually source properly on Facebook because I think you can dig in and find people, and there's tools to do that, etc., etc. But the thing I always get, which I think is ridiculous, it's creepy. Nobody talks about work on Facebook, and I'm thinking, wow, they should see my feed. So my non-recruitment friends talk about work and talk about jobs and talk about stuff all the time. My non-recruitment friends. So what are your thoughts on that?
I prefer to engage. Like for example, that's a great topic because just because they're not talking about work doesn't mean that they're not interested in hearing about a great opportunity. I prefer to not use LinkedIn. I prefer to use Facebook because those individuals aren't talking about opportunities. And I always use this example. It's really about like where the mind frame is. For example, you can send a post. You send a post through LinkedIn, and you send the same exact post through Facebook. You're going to get two different responses based on what that message is. So I don't adhere to that. People are talking about jobs on Facebook. That's fine. I don't want them to talk about jobs. I'd rather send them a nice cat picture and have them laugh at some funny cat pictures and get them engaged and hit them from an entertainment or humor perspective to engage them. Like the emails that I send, they're very humorous. And the response I usually get back is, this is the best recruiter message I've ever seen. And it's very different. Thank you. It's refreshing. And like I said, I'm promoting not only the company or the offer, but I'm also promoting myself as a brand. So I want to differentiate myself. So I'm perfectly fine. I love recruiting on platforms that aren't job related.
But what I was more getting at was that people say, oh, nobody talks about work on there. They think it's personal, is what I was getting at. Whereas I see my mechanic friend saying that his barber's looking for someone, or my theatre director friend's always looking for casual staff, and I've got my physio friend who looks for physio. Like they're always talking about it. They're always reaching out to the network looking for people. So do you face that resistance, or you go ahead and do it anyway?
I've never found that resistance. Never had that problem. Yeah, like Jim said, different advertisers for different platforms. It's just, and you have to test it. A big part of marketing is testing. I test it. Sometimes things work, sometimes they don't. But if you test it, you can find out if it works or not.
What do you think about recruiters that still have a personal Facebook and then their business Facebook? I'm not into it. Do you have that, or just? No,
I just have just my Facebook regular account. Yeah.
I think that they're looked at, Audra. And, you've got an unusual name. Actually, we've all got unusual names, so it's pretty easy to find. So I always suggest they lock it down and give it a really good audit, particularly the photos of you to see what you're tagged in, because they tell us, as the cliche. Yeah. Oh God, there's Katrina passed out in the gutter again. We don't want that one to be public. Thank you. So yeah. So it's, I think, going in and giving it an audit, and then I will deliberately share stuff publicly that perhaps is about my business or something I'm doing or an event, but I will watch out that the next posts don't go out publicly. So I'm quite selective. So it's like, I mean, in a way, it's a show reel. So it's creating a show reel. So I'm using it as a brand. I love the notes, by the way. I think they're the most underused thing on Facebook. They're like the blog you do on LinkedIn, but you can do them on Facebook, and Facebook doesn't own the information. No, unlike LinkedIn, which actually takes and can do what they want with it. As far as I'm aware, it's yours. It's still yours. But you can share them, and they get great engagement because it's Facebook where people are actually using
I definitely locked down. My profile is definitely locked down, and only a select group of people can see what's going on there.
And you can.
Do you go as far as to having different groups?
I'm sorry.
Do you go as far as having?
Oh yeah, I have it segmented by friends, acquaintances, and then there's another group where they can see everything. So yeah.
I gotta do that.
I probably need to do that.
So you can have like.
So my client said to me, "Have you seen the photos of me with my shirt off?" And I went, no, thinking, thank God, in my head. He's gorgeous, but like he's my client, so it's like I just like to see him with his shirt off. And then he said, "Well, then you're not in the inner; you're in the next one out."
So when you share a post, you can say like just this. With my family.
You can segment it.
Brian Cheney's. Look at anything Brian Cheney posts. You'll see it's
I only get business stuff from him. Cheeky.
Yeah. So you must be in the inner sanctum. I don't think I'm in the inner sanctum. I think I'm in the outer sanctum.
But that's smart. That's really smart.
It is smart. We should have done it from the beginning.
So you can create a portfolio or album within your Facebook that's strictly related to business, and then all the people that you're contacting, you can just segment, and they're just seeing targeted information. I mean, you can get really, really targeted if you'd like. So it's pretty.
Yeah, I was watching a webinar on the advertising because I've never been a fan because I'm all about using all these tools for free. But I was having a look at how you can drill in, and whereas you don't do it when you go to boost a post. I think you go in to the advertising platform, close everything, create the custom audience. I think it was. That looked really cool.
But you can
playing in there, and there's suggestions to pick people up who, if you're working at a certain company, they would like another company.
So you can do some pretty, like I said, Facebook. It's really absolutely amazing what you can do with the lookalike audience. You can. This one's a little bit touchy. You have to know how to, then you get into some HR things, but ATS database marketing. So you can literally upload, like say, for instance, if I wanted to find all the software engineers who had Hadoop experience in our ATS, I can take them, extract them, upload them into Facebook. There's a decent percentage chance I'm going to get at least 80% of those individuals. And then I can further drill down into those individuals and find, okay, I only want individuals who, I'll just use who like Harley Davidson. And I can once again target a Harley Davidson message directly to those individuals. That's absolutely mind-boggling to me. And that's why I love Facebook, is because of the level of targeting. It is unprecedented that at this time.
And I love the creepy factor, so that you can then get it that you put the pixel on their page, so when they keep returning, your ad keeps popping up.
There's some creepy stuff. Like here's something that's creepy.
But hey, look, if somebody needs to see it keep appearing in their page multiple times before they respond to it, and it will be multiple times.
Yeah, you can retarget those individuals. You can get creepy. I mean, there's a technology out right now, and I just figured it out about a week ago. They're targeting the IP range in my house. So my wife is looking at something on Etsy, and I'm getting the messages. I'm also seeing the retargeting back on my phone. I'm sure that's going to be coming, through Facebook too.
Hey, that's really annoying if your wife's looking at Etsy.
Yeah.
Craft. But yeah. So,
I'm
not looking at any of that stuff. So yeah, that's something I did think about. What if? Yeah, that's a whole nother subject. Yeah.
Hang on. Which question are you looking at? Jim's question.
That's funny.
Okay, so Jim's got a question here. I suspect that Facebook has LinkedIn envy because they keep updating my about page. Do you think Facebook will seriously compete with LinkedIn? I think it will.
It can. It could very. Think about it like this, Jim, and I thought about this recently too. So Facebook acquired Instagram, and Instagram now.
I just realized what you were responding to.
Oh, you okay?
For those that are watching the replay, Jim is talking about Viagra.
Oh yeah, you saw that. Okay.
No comment. I have no comment.
Yeah, I really feel sorry because that's going to happen now, Jim, and I can only imagine what's going to happen. Anyway, that's another subject.
That's so
getting back to your question here. So Facebook acquired Instagram. So now Instagram has all the same data points, the averaging 1,500 data points. So what if Facebook acquired a monster? Facebook acquired a monster or some other company, or they got into that game, and now they're able to attach all of those data points, those individuals. They could really, I think, do some serious damage to LinkedIn if they did something like that. I thought about it like, wow, they could, if or when they do. Oh, I'm not sure. I think they have to make a decision if that's something they want to jump into because, but at the same time, recruiters will mess it up.
I think from my experience, there's so much resistance from recruiters to use Facebook. I'm not sure that they will.
Yeah,
we'll see.
That they won't use it.
I think there's just so much resistance. They sort of fear of it.
Well, recruitment marketing
departments.
I mean, I think you have a lot of recruitment marketing. I mean, they're creating these recruitment marketing departments in companies now, and so now you're taking recruiters out. You have these recruiter marketer type individuals. That's what I really call myself. And those individuals are now able to really do that on Facebook, on other platforms. I think that can be very powerful. I know Kara Yarnot, that's what we created over, or that's what she created over at SAIC.
Wow. I like too that you can target competing companies. So if you find out that a company's laying off, you can make sure that they see your message over and over. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Get them before they're laying off. Just target them anyway.
Yeah.
Why not? You can do that anyway. I mean, you can do that with a direct search and go find people. Jim, Facebook owns personal space. If they took over the professional space, Facebook would have world domination. When that happens, messenger apps already growing in popularity will be even more popular.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember, I never know whether I should say this or not, but, having a conversation with the editors in the Talent Solutions blog and them saying to me, Katrina, do not quote Indeed, don't quote Hired. And I went, why? Well, because they're a job board. We're a job board. And I'm like, what? And I'm going, so I can talk about all the other social networks. And I think that's where LinkedIn's got it wrong. Forgetting your pay-per-click side, but we're not staying on there because all of the social networking stuff that we love that keeps us active on the platform is gone.
It's really boring.
So if Facebook kill that, which I doubt they will because they're not stupid, then it would be a problem.
Yeah. I just find LinkedIn really boring.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's getting quite offensive. Actually, the stuff I'm seeing on there now is just offensive because because of the fact that homepage is set to top all the time. So if you're using the desktop, nobody sees anything. So they're throwing all sorts of photos in there just to get attention.
Yep.
Thank God I worked out how to turn off the video autoplay. That was so annoying. So,
what are wanted analytics?
Wanted analytics. I tested that. I don't know. Has it gotten like?
It's Jim's comment.
I'm on the table about wanted analytics, and I mean, I guess you can. That's a whole other conversation. I tested that out, and I was just really curious about the validity of that data. So, yeah.
So is that a separate? Is that a separate platform?
Yeah, that's separate. Yeah, that's a whole other conversation, probably. Yeah, I'd love to talk with you about that, Jim, because that was years. That was a number of years ago when I tested it. I don't know how old they were, but let's chat about that. I'm very curious to talk about that to see if they got any better.
So is that like the one pager?
I'm sorry?
For a job? Is it like a one pager for job that tells you like the demographic and then?
No, and like I said, it's been a number of years now. I could have tested it when they were just new. I see Jackie say you tested last month, so maybe it's different. But yeah, that's like I said, that's a whole nother. Acquired by C. They were acquired. I didn't know that. It's updated. Okay, I would love to test it out again. It was impressive, but then as I start to dig down a little, it just didn't seem valid. But that's, like I said, that's a whole other conversation. I'll do it. I will. They got better. Excellent.
I know it is now a month. I'll send you one today so you can have a look.
Okay.
I have a couple.
Cool.
Yeah. Check it out.
So if I'm a brand spanking new recruiter, actually, no, let's go with that. I'm a 3-year-old recruiter who knows what I'm doing and wants to step into the recruitment advertising Facebook space, whatever I'm saying, Facebook recruitment advertising space. I told you shoulder hurting can't make sense. What am I doing? Where do I start?
That's a good question.
Top tips.
That's a good question.
Top tips.
And I'll be completely honest. It's not something that I would recommend someone to jump into right away without really having a mentor or without having you started a bit without having someone to really guide them in there, because you can
starting early. Okay, a 13-year-old.
Because you could lose, like with any paid platform, you could lose a lot of money really fast. There's a lot to pay-per-click marketing. I've been doing it for almost 10 years now, and there's just the nuances of it you should know about. But I would say maybe first learn about pay-per-click marketing on Facebook, maybe through Udemy or
YouTube.
Yeah, there's a ton of YouTube videos.
There's tons of videos.
Yeah, so just the basics, and then don't spend a lot of money. I mean, you can test. The great thing about Facebook also is that you can do it extremely cheap. There's no other platform that you can test that cheaply on or put ads on. Back when I started.
So that's always the bit I find confusing, though. You get to the how much would you like to spend bit, and it says, well, how many people might see it? And then I get confused at that point. Whereas I liked it when it was you click and you get this. It seems to be very impressions based.
Yeah,
now.
I mean they're trying to make money. There are, I call them attention hacks and ways in that you can get around that. I average anywhere from, like, I try not to go over 5 cents per click. I hate it, but usually I can get penny clicks and even sub penny down to 1/100th of a penny for a click. So that's why
and that's because of what? It's highly targeted,
right? And people are sharing. So you let's say, for example, Facebook says you'll reach 10,000 people for $10. Well, that's fine. I'll hit those 10,000. I'll hit those 10,000 people. But because I know, or based on past precedents, that this ad will probably do well and it's going to get shared. So the cost per click, it's not 10 cents per click as Facebook said it would cost. It's really 0.1% because it's been shared, clicked, liked so much. So that's it kind of gets that viral.
Why is it going to be shared? Why do you know?
Because of the, once again.
Okay, but I guess I'm asking.
I'll give you an example. So
but I'm like, what makes it good content?
So let's go back to the examples. Let's go back to that platform. I can target someone who's like, okay, you like Wireshark, you like Snort, you like Nessus. So I know you have an affinity towards security tools. Now I know you like Harley Davidson. I'm using that example. You like a biker magazine. Okay. Now I'm going to send you a picture of a cat on a bicycle holding a Linux server. It's just funny. I mean, it's that type of thing. It's funny, and so now people are going to share it with their friends, and it just kind of goes viral. So it's really, I call it, it's really attention arbitrage, attention hacking. I'm sorry.
It's coming up with something that's quite funny and targeted.
Right. And it's because of that psychographic data within Facebook. You can just get absolutely narrow in your search, and so you're able to target that message right then and there. We tested something with was it The Walking Dead, when we did it right before the show was coming back on into the season, which is perfect because if you look at Google Trends, you can see the chatter starts to go up and up and up as the show starts to come on. So you hit them right before the show comes on, and boom, it's just viral. So
nice.
But is it viral to the right people?
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about technology recruitment. Well,
if you're targeting those individuals, yes, you're targeting that message right to those individuals based on they like they like The Walking Dead. They like Linux. They also like 2 or 3. So what I also do is that the new thing in Facebook that just happened probably over the last 6 or 7 months, you can add Boolean logic to your searches. So it's called conjunctive targeting. So now I can start to group these things together. Before, I think maybe 6 or 7 months ago, I couldn't find out if you liked The Walking Dead plus 2 other people who are, I don't know any of their names on The Walking Dead, but I know you're not just a fan, but you're deep into The Walking Dead. So now I know that you really, really like the show. So now when I target, I can also see in Facebook, there's something called Facebook audience, and I can send out a link if anyone's interested. They can show you the likelihood of how often these individuals click ads. So if I know the likelihood is low, I'm not even going to send it to those individuals. I'm only going to send it to those individuals who have a high click-through rate on ads, and you can see that information in the Facebook audience.
So you're doing that in the audience? You're not using a third-party tool?
No, it's within Facebook.
Jackie and Jim was saying.
Yeah, it's within Facebook, and I'll send out the link. I'll put it in my Twitter on my Twitter page. So actually, I'll try to find it right now if I can.
No, later. We want your attention.
Jackie's got a loaded question here.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
How many people have you actually recruited from Facebook?
How many people have I actually recruited from Facebook? I don't know. I mean, it's not a lot. I don't use Facebook ever. It's situational. I don't use it necessarily always for just recruiting sources. I use it for also for brand building. I have pages, and I don't want to give those pages. I have pages that I've built up with Linux developers, so I can go and send a message. So that's just me. That has nothing to do with a company or anything. I can just go and send a message to those individuals because I have a Facebook page for Linux people. I have a Facebook page for software developers with Hadoop. So like I said, I take this as a long term a long term branding and not just a short term thing.
Yeah, I mean, Jackie's written here, so how many people have you hired? So yeah, I mean,
pushing it.
You are sounding like Animal. I think Mark has a point. Yeah.
She wants a number.
Yeah, are you tracking it? And I mean, I understand that, but I think what you're saying, it's part long haul.
Am I tracking it? Oh yeah, absolutely.
But it's also, I've got clients who've absolutely found people and hired on there, no problems whatsoever. A couple from pay-per-click adverts, and others have been just direct sourcing. So
yeah,
but like you said, sometimes you don't actually know it's come from Facebook in the first place. Because
that's so frustrating.
When you get all the way through the process, it could say it's coming from somewhere else.
Yeah.
Right. And a lot of times they're on their phone for Facebook, so they see it on their phone, and then that night they go to Google, type in the job, and apply. So it's tough. Yeah. But you're right. If you have the correct tracking pixels, it's just
And Jackie, I don't want to go around your question. So how many people? I can't tell you exactly how many. It's not. I don't. Facebook is not my primary source for recruiting at this juncture right now, because for example, when I was doing purely headhunting, Facebook was a big part of what I did, because I wasn't really using any job boards. And for example, if you're it's going to differ. If you're at an agency, executive search firm, corporate recruiter, all of those are different. I mean, someone at Korn Ferry, I think they would do very, very well on a Facebook. Now, someone at an Aerotech, I don't know if I'd really recommend it if 100 calls a day is what you need to do. So it's also going to depend on where that individual is in their recruitment career.
Or did you want to read out Jim's question, saying you just answered it?
Yeah. So it's a tough question. Are the titles of your Facebook pages based on keyword research or company branding? So, for example, you could do a software developer jobs in Atlanta, or company X is hiring Linux geeks. Which do you think would work better?
Oh,
okay. Neither. Are the titles of the Facebook pages based on keyword research?
I wouldn't use either of those.
I mean, I think you could use either.
Yeah,
there's one reason why you shouldn't use either of those.
Right.
I like that. Colleague, boss, somebody sees that and they're going, hey, Katrina's looking to move. So,
but even if it doesn't matter if they don't have to like it.
there's thousands of jobs, so they can walk out of one straight into another one. But for the rest of you three of us on the call, we don't want to be fired like that. So,
but we don't want people to like it. We want them to click and apply. We don't care. I mean, it's nice if they like it.
This is Facebook pages, so you don't want to name your Facebook page anything that says the word jobs. I mean, I wouldn't even do like Marriott Careers. I wouldn't even do that. I'd just be Marriott and talk a mixture. Because I just think, who's seeing you like that page?
Yeah,
that's my concern.
So the page is.
Did you, Stephen just gave all of us a little hat tip then? How cute.
So I'll give you an example. Jim, I'll ask you a question specifically. So one of the pages that we were doing this as a just kind of a test. So yeah, we did one we for lower level, like for like a trucking, there's like a trucking site that we did for truckers. And we made that one very specific for New York trucking jobs. And truckers, I don't think they really care if someone sees on a trucking. Now for Linux, for the Linux page, it has nothing to do with jobs whatsoever, because we know those individuals and the software people are in high demand. So there's no, I don't want to approach those individuals with the word jobs whatsoever in their Facebook feed. So it's completely different.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting because Mark's just put them name Linux experts Atlanta. And again, then there's the issue with the word experts, because, real techies don't want to say they're an expert or a ninja or a rock star. Oh, it's so complicated with that lot. Seriously, we're happy to be recruitment experts. But they're a bit precious about it, aren't they? Because they're quite like, well, we wouldn't say we're an expert. We just know we are. It's quite funny. They just prove it with their work.
I'm not an expert. I just do one little area. I'm not an expert. I'm just one little thing I do well, and everything else I suck at.
Do you think
is that the drawing behind you? Is that what you do?
Those are my daughters. My daughters do those. They wanted they wanted something on there. It's like, you don't have any videos. It's like, okay, go put them up there. So yeah,
they're so cute. I love them.
Yeah, they're very cute.
I expect you to take a photo and tweet that later. So you can see
I will. I'll do that for you. That's good.
Love it.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Now that Facebook is learning that people are getting really good at it and their cost per click is so low and it's working so well, do you think they're going to change it a bit so it's more expensive?
No.
Because like the whole organic reach disappeared. Never pissed off everyone.
Will they change it? They're constantly changing their algorithms all the time.
Sorry if you heard that. That was the dog.
I know. I didn't know what it was.
Did you hear him? He just went, oh.
Oh, God.
Will they change it? I'm sure they're always continually changing the algorithms. I mean, when you first started doing Facebook ads, it was very, very simple. You could just put up things and it would just go viral. Now it's more complex. So will they change it? I'm absolutely sure. Organic reach, yeah, it's changed a lot, but you can still, if you have a targeted message, and I can, there's a page that we created. I can send you over some of. I think I still have some stats on that one, on just a pure post. And this is in 2016, a post. It's not sponsored, not anything, and the reach is really good. So Facebook is all about engagement. If you have really, really good engagement, they'll give you the organic reach. I know a lot of pundits talk about organic reach. I see that all the time. But they'll give you the organic reach if your engagement is good. Now, that's a big if. You have to really, really know your audience. If you're a recruiter in the gaming industry, I can definitely tell you it works very, very well on Facebook, and you can get some extremely good engagement within the video game community on Facebook developers. It's mind-boggling. So
what I love about Facebook is that they don't charge you and I to use it, right? And it's full of great features, so we all use it. So they go and hit up marketers, they go and hit up companies for money, and that's how they make the money. And even the advertising isn't so expensive that the one person company can't afford to throw some money at it. So I just think that's so incredibly clever. Whereas my issue again with LinkedIn is a lot of us pay to use it, and then we get hit up and we post a job, and then they want the job seekers to pay to see the salary banners. Like, they're charging everybody for everything and taking away all the functionality. Whereas I don't care that my post doesn't necessarily organically have much reach, because I know I can increase it with not very much money, but I'm not paying day to day to use Facebook. So
Right.
I don't mind.
Yeah.
Just pay.
I've always.
And 1.5 billion people clearly don't mind. So it's a lot of friggin' data going through, right? You can't see it all. So, I don't know. It's good.
Yeah, we're actually coming down to the end of it.
How did that happen so fast?
You know, it flew by.
I don't know. Is there any other top tips, secrets you can share? For the not 3-year-olds, we've got the 5-year-old recruiter.
The 5-year recruiters.
10.
I think the main thing that I gotta mention here is just digging into Facebook, that all the different data points that are within Facebook that you can target. It's keeping the message coherent with the targeting that you're going after. And I've kind of used that same scenario of the Linux and the Harley Davidson just for an example. Just keeping that message coherent.
I'm sensing you want a Harley Davidson or you have one.
No, I don't. I'm actually definitely afraid of motorcycles. Yeah, I've known 2 friends that have died in the last few years, so I will never get a motorcycle. But I use that example because people who are fans of Harley Davidson are like they're very it's cultish to a certain extent. I mean, it's like other areas.
Interesting.
Yeah. And that's the only reason why I use that example. There's tons of other examples out there that I could use related to how people are really have an affinity towards something, but Harley Davidson people are just passionate about Harley Davidson. So.
Yeah. No, I get that. Here's a good question from Matt. So how do you respond to recruiters, sources, etc., who say, I don't have time for all this stuff?
Yeah, that's
a good question. When I first started recruiting in '99, the first thing that when I was hired as a recruiter, my boss, one of the first things she said was, as a recruiter, this is not a 9-to-5 job. If you approach it as a 9-to-5 job, then you're not going to be successful. So if you're only looking to do this from 9 to 5, don't work here. And so I've never approached recruiting as a 9-to-5 job, and I've always invested in myself. So I don't mind spending money out of my pocket to test something, because I feel it's an investment back into myself. As I mentioned earlier, I'm a brand. So if I'm a brand, I'm going to invest in myself as a brand. And I mean, Matt, you know me, I do stuff from home a lot. So I got a call at 5 a.m. this morning. I roll over and answer my emails before I get out of bed. We all do that now. It's a different world. I think Jackie makes a very good point here. The first thing new recruiters need to learn is how to recruit. Am I right? Am I right? Absolutely. Well, actually more. I think they need to understand business. So the worst thing I ever see is a recruiter who's perhaps a graduate and has no business experience. It's really, really hard to recruit because you don't get how important people are to the business. Yeah. So I agree with all of that. But I think now in 2016, there is that, as I would call it, are you worth answering? You call it.
They just need to hire you, Katrina.
Huh? Yes.
They just need to hire you.
Say that, but whatever. But there is that branding piece, as you're calling it. For sure.
Yeah. Some recruiters are absolutely terrible at branding piece. Like their LinkedIn is like a really ugly photo. Says nothing about the company. It's amazing how. So when they reach out to someone, I wouldn't want to write back to them.
Did you notice my example I used in Recruit DC, which was the employer branding person who's got a really crap Twitter? Couldn't help myself. I did it on purpose because I've also suggested that it be changed by her boss, and it hasn't been changed. It just makes me laugh. But anyway, she's not on the call.
Yeah, it's amazing how many recruiters don't care about their personal brand.
So Jim has asked the question: talk about how you contact people you find on Facebook, contact via Messenger, LinkedIn, email. Okay, Jim.
Yeah, we were talking about this. Oh,
so
it's fine.
LinkedIn, email,
unless they're a developer.
Well, yeah, it all depends on the person, right?
Yeah, well, developers, because they go into that coding flow where you don't want to interrupt, you piss them off.
Yeah.
But what were we even considering via Messenger? You sure as hell wouldn't go back to LinkedIn. Look at that Google recruiter that had 11 months before he was replied to. Use the phone. What's the phone? No. Jim, I just make sure Jackie's messages aren't showing. This is the phone. You got it there? Hello? Swear to God, I could do a lesson on how to use a telephone. Like literally, this is how you make a call. and it would sell. It's
Oh,
the
God.
thing I text with. It's the thing you send me video birthday messages with. He's talking on it in your app.
He's got new videos on YouTube I have to check out.
Is that really true? I saw Jim.
Sorry?
Licensed recruiters. Is that a link to something offering like that's
A great idea that will never happen. Licensed
Where's that?
recruiters. I have no idea.
Oh,
Put
okay.
up
That's
a link there. Of course, but you can't be good at branding and then not know how to talk to people. Yeah, I mean, I think that comes back to hiring, doesn't it, Jackie? You've got to make sure you hire the right people.
Sure,
in the
sure,
first place.
future.
What's this? He runs an Uber just for shuttling his kids around. Who's
He,
that?
Matt, no, I have 4 kids, and Matt knows that I,
Oh.
mainly my son, who has he's a competitive gymnast. It is, I'm always shuffling him around, taxiing him all over the country, basically. So, yeah,
I didn't know you had 4 kids.
Oh,
Wow.
I have 4. The drawings on the back are from two of the girls, and then I have 2 boys.
Yeah.
So,
Holy cow, you're great.
Oh, Jackie and Jim are setting up a phone date here. It's so
Oh.
cute. So you're going to have any more, or are you going to start with
done.
4 kids?
Yeah, that's enough. Holy
you're
cow.
done.
So I think we're done now.
Yeah, I actually have
We're
a
done.
few minutes.
A lot of no's there.
Big
There's a
table.
lot of no's in my life. No vacations that much. Yeah.
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 Oh, dear.
Aw, but you do have great wall art.
That's a faux brick wall.
No, the pictures on the wall, and that is the dogs. In case
Isn't
you
that
can
cool
hear
that
them
that's
playing
actually a
behind
full
me.
wall? Did you know that? It's awesome. I love it.
What is it? Wallpaper?
Well, yours is Katrina's is a full wall as well.
Mine's a screen. Mine's a screen. Look, I'll let you behind the screen. There's behind
Oh,
the
that's
screen.
cool.
No, there's a reason for that because I flat with my ex-husband. Every so often he'll walk past half naked. I was on a conference call with a client the other day, and he walked past half naked, and it was like, oh my god.
That'd be
So,
funny
yeah.
in a blab, though.
I need to get one of those beautiful,
Wow.
I don't know, Chinese ones or something behind me. Yeah. That's what I need to do because it shocked the hell out of them. But anyway, right. Back to the point at hand.
I think that would be good on a blab.
I think we're at it.
Yeah.
Huh?
I think that would be,
We're walking past.
yeah, that'd be good for blab.
You don't know what he looks like shirtless. so
Okay.
You probably shouldn't find out. By the way, he's extremely fit because he teaches a spinning class in the gym. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I agree
it's
with Jim.
fine. Half naked, that's one way to increase your
Right.
blood volume.
Or degrees.
Jim, is that you
That would be
volunteering? We'll get Jim on topless.
Uh-oh.
Right, I've ruined my camera again. Right. Okay,
Yeah.
on that note.
Is there
I
anything,
just-
Lamont, that we could plug, a blog or anything, or
Hey, do you blog on this?
not right now, maybe?
No, I don't have.
You should. That could be. Well, you probably don't have time, but you definitely should. It's so much knowledge.
I mean, I do private coaching with. I've been doing private coaching on primarily pay-per-click ads, but mainly right now Facebook because I've been doing it for a long time. So
Ooh. Do you have a website?
I have a LamontPrice.com, but it's a private website. It's locked down because I've gotten hacked really bad a couple times, so it's on lockdown.
Ooh.
So.
Yeah.
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 When you're in the affiliate marketing industry, it's a cutthroat industry, and I've been hacked far too many times. But I may reopen it in the future.
Oh, wow.
So if someone wanted to hire you to coach, could they reach you at Twitter?
Oh, they can reach me on Twitter. Yeah, Lamont at LamontPrice.com.
They could send him
Yeah,
a Facebook
you do
message
Facebook.
request.
Yeah, you can reach me on LinkedIn, Facebook, and my email address is real easy. It's like I said, Lamont at LamontPrice.com.
Nice.
Yep.
Very
Yep.
cool.
Easy.
Well, thank you so much. I actually love.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Next week we got double trouble, haven't we? So next week we have Jen Davis and Joshua Jones talking snap recruiting, which should be quite
Yeah,
interesting,
that's gonna be.
particularly judging by their snaps. And actually, the fact that they make quite interesting stories and put a lot of work into
Yeah.
it. So that'll be really, really cool. And I hope Jose tunes in as well. So
Definitely gonna be awesome.
as well. Sorry, they're now playing behind me. So. Lab dogs will be locked out next week because it'll be too crazy with 2 people
Nah.
on already. So, Lamont, thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for all that.
Appreciate
I
it
feel
so
quite
much. Thank you
inspired,
for having me.
So,
Awesome.
cool. Thanks, everybody. We shall see you next week.
Thanks everyone for joining.
Thanks.
Bye.